Hi, folks. Today I have for us a police impersonator out of Wisconsin. And before we start, as always, I want to give a big special thank you to all my new and current channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Also, if you could for me, please subscribe to the page, turn on the notification bell, leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. It's a great way to show support for me and the channel. With all that being said,
Me on us.
I have an idea. I'm on my way home, and he's turning this fucking strobe light on, and he's got a siren. He curbs two cars, and then blows past them, goes through a red, and then he's just using this little light bar on top here with these sirens.
Okay then.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
I was just driving home. I just got this thing off of Amazon,
What thing?
a siren.
And you try and pull people over?
No,
Well, you followed him a pretty good distance.
I followed him.
Yeah, I heard him all the way from 52.
And you try to curb two cars on 52nd Street and use lights and a siren so they pull over and stop. You pull up next to them, and then you blow past them.
Got your ID on you?
I'm sorry.
353 or code 4. What'd you get off Amazon recently?
A siren.
Why?
I've always wanted one.
For what purpose?
The PA system.
To do what?
Talking to it mostly. Kind of had a siren in it, and I didn't really know it had a siren. And I was fucking around with it. I do construction, landscaping. That's the light on the top.
shenanigans.
Na 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 na
Shenanigans.
na 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 na.
Now, before I declare shenanigans on this police impersonator, I have to just make one quick announcement that I know this is my frauder setup, but police impersonators, frauders, they go hand in hand. So let's give this idiot his shenanigans. You're saying you bought that on Amazon, and yet you didn't know it had a siren? That's shenanigans right there, because if you order anything from Amazon, it tells you full details of what the item is, what it has, and what functions it can do, especially a PA light bar system with multiple flashing strobe lights and a siren that is used for law enforcement. And if you said you're doing this for your work, which is, landscaping, why do you need a PA system for your landscaping? Is it to yell at the grass to cut itself, or to yell at the weeds to not grow?
What's with the yellow and white bar?
That's amber.
Okay,
That's for construction.
so are you doing construction right now?
No,
So why do you have it on?
because I saw him behind me, and he had his hazards on. He was following me, so I turned him on, and I pulled over. I don't want to get hit.
That's just stupid.
You got any weapons on you?
No.
Stand up for me. Turn around.
Did you run him?
He should be the RO. You had a siren on?
Yeah, so we're going down 52nd, and I'm on my way home.
Right.
So we're going down 5-2, and then all of a sudden I see this white and yellow flashing light on top of the car, and I'm going along, and all of a sudden I notice this guy's like flying, and he's coming up behind cars and making a move over to the shoulder with the siren, and then they pull over and stop, and then
Does he stop behind him?
Yeah, he would pause and stop, and then accelerate around him and take off with the siren on, and then he would race up behind the next car and make that one pull over and curb. And then same thing, he'd race around it.
Okay.
So then I'm trying to get up on the side of him to see if I could get a look at him. I wrote down his license plate, I turned my radio on, and as I get up next to him, he slows down, pulls behind me, turns the siren on, and I move into the lane next to him, and then he blows past me.
Okay.
So when he came up to a red light, I looked at him and I'm like, pull over and stop, and then he takes off, and he ran two red lights.
Okay.
Oh man, this fits the definition of 946.70, impersonating a peace officer. Except as provided in subsection 2, whoever impersonates a peace officer with the intent to mislead others into believing that the person is actually a peace officer is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. By you pulling over two cars and then speeding behind them, and then trying the same thing with an off-duty cop, then turning your lights and sirens back on and gunning through 2 red lights, you are not only guilty of that, but you could be facing charges of possibly fleeing and evading, and you're definitely going to be getting some tickets for those running those red lights.
What red lights are you on? This one?
So this one here for sure. And
Coming northbound or?
So eastbound.
And then into the
it
northbound?
turned red, and then he made the left. And then the other one that he ran was 104th and 52nd.
Okay.
I didn't mean to blow through the light. It's got shitty brakes on there, but I didn't want to. I mean, you gotta look at it from our perspective. No, you know, I get it. I understand.
You know, and then the other way to look at it too is if it's got shitty brakes, but you got the time and money to put light bars and whatever on it, then you should put the money into the brakes. I mean, unfortunately for you, this guy happened to be right there going home from work. So
I'm concerned too because there's if you look in his back seat, he's got more LEDs that aren't installed yet. He's got like a full package back there.
does it look like it's red and blue or just?
I can't tell because with our LEDs now, I mean they could be any color.
That's true.
I can't tell what color they're on there. It might say on them, but yeah, he's got a full siren and air horn rigged up on this thing.
Okay. Impersonating a police officer, at least, because he said he stopped behind them for several seconds and then sped off.
Yeah, he would curb them, and then he didn't get out and make contact with them, but he would curb them and then speed around them.
Okay. 2 people and then he tried to do it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you do that though? It's way quicker than to go on the interstate 142. I was gonna hit the interstate. I don't know why it took me.
What's with the red lights? One of the red lights.
What red lights?
This one, and then the one on 104th and 52nd Street.
I was like 100 feet maybe before the red light, and
Do you have your siren on when you were going through the red light?
I don't know. I had my horn on, I think.
What horn?
A little like
The air horn?
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Cause like my brakes are shit on this thing, and like I can't really stop very good on it. So it hit yellow before I was like able to like stop real quick. So I just kind of like hit the air horn, and I don't know. I just got it today.
So it sounds like you tried to pull over 3 people.
No.
That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you got behind him, hit your light and your horn, put him to the curb, stop behind him for several seconds, and then sped around him.
No, I didn't do that.
That's not what I heard.
No, I would never do that.
So what are you doing?
I just got the siren today. It
For what
literally
purpose?
Came from Amazon today.
You set a whole light bar that's not rigged up.
I'm literally not trying to impersonate no one.
You know when you're pulling people over with the light flashing, it is impersonating, right?
I wasn't trying to impersonate no one though. Like I'm not in I don't have a uniform. I don't have any firearms.
Now, it's not the fact that you don't have a gun or a uniform. The fact of the matter is this. You using the lights and siren, what would lead most people to think that you are some form of law enforcement. And as we are all trained when we get our licenses from the DMVs, that flashing lights and sirens means pull over. And if you pull over with them, behind them with lights and siren flashing and going off, you are impersonating a law enforcement officer.
I really love you guys. I really honestly do. I'm not trying to impersonate no one.
So what were you going to do with this other light bar that's in here?
That's the other thing. I was going to mount it. I just picked that up from my dad's house. It's from a racing lawnmower that I built for the high school. It used to go on the Clover. It's orange.
What about these lights up here? They could be construed as, they look like they could strobe, and they're white.
Those are white strobe lights.
You understand where we're going with this, right?
Right, I understand. I really fucked up. I totally get it.
What were you going to pull them over for? Just out of curiosity.
I wasn't trying to pull anybody over. I got it today.
So what were you following them for then?
I was just driving. And I know
Where were you headed to?
Unit Grove. I was just messing with the different sounds on the siren because I live in a residential area, and I thought, like, I don't know. I should have. I don't know. I didn't know where I could really play with it.
You understand? Okay, so not only is it something that's, I'm just gonna straight out say stupid.
Right.
You're not armed, right?
No.
What happens if you try? I'm just saying. I'm not accusing you of anything right now, okay? But what would happen if you try to pull the wrong person over who had a gun and who does not like police, and he gets out and starts shooting? Guess what? You have no way of defending yourself. Nevertheless, that this is a crime for you impersonating a police officer. You know that, right?
But I'm not trying to impersonate no one.
Everything that is occurring right now is pointing that way. It's not smart.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up getting yourself hurt over something stupid just because you want to play around.
How long are you on probation for?
A year.
And when does it end?
I got put on probation April, January, February, March. Like April.
Of this year?
April of this year, yeah.
Do it.
Okay, so not only did you impersonate a cop, which could get you either 9 months in county jail or a $10,000 fine, but you are also on probation? Bro, let's just say, best case scenario, they give you the 9 months. They're going to tack on whatever's remaining of that probation. That cushy job, that nice house, that car, all going to go bye-bye. And well, you effed around and found out the hard way, didn't you?
I see this every single day. If you're on probation for whatever the case is,
And I'm sitting here drawing attention.
you
to
should
myself.
literally be going to work, going home, and that's it. You shouldn't be going to any bars. You shouldn't be going anywhere after whatever. Because guys do stupid stuff all the time. We just had a guy yesterday. He was out on probation and whatever else, and the guy decides to go to the bar with his old lady, and guess what? Now he's going to go to prison for 3-4 years because, you know, it's like, just stay at home.
I get it.
I mean, I get you have a life and I get you're 19, but, you
I
know.
work 3 jobs.
Right, I get it, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, your decisions in the past, you know, brought you to here, so it's like, you just need to stay home, stay out of trouble, not go anywhere, not do anything.
Your reputation follows.
So here's what I think happened, okay? I think you got this new light today, and it's cool. You got a new light, you got a new siren, it's fun.
Yeah.
Then you realize you turn it on and people pull over for you like you're a cop. So you thought, hey, this is kind of fun. I'm going to pull behind them like a cop because you like the cops. That's great. And then, well, maybe I probably shouldn't go far with this, but that was cool, and then kept going.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah. It's dumb. But I wasn't trying to be a cop. I like you guys. I really do. You guys are awesome, and you guys do good work. Even though I've been arrested, I have never changed my view on you guys at all.
Well, that's fantastic.
I was
but
on the Racine County Sheriff's Explorer post as a kid.
Why doesn't that surprise me? Why do all police impersonators start off as police explorers? I mean, it's a great way to get into the profession of becoming a law enforcement officer. But seriously? Come on, man.
I've always dreamt to be, I don't know.
you've always wanted to be a cop.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out for you.
No.
And it happens. Unfortunately, some people just doesn't work out. But tonight, you were trying to act like you were a cop a little bit, right? Right? You were like, hey, I'm gonna go full blown here. We're gonna pull someone over, get him out of the car. But a little part of you, right? You're like, I have a light on, I have a siren. They pulled over for me. It's like I'm a cop right now, right?
And unfortunately, one of those cars was a police car.
And that's why we're here today. So you essentially pulled over somebody as a cop, but you're not a cop. Does that sound right?
I mean, we understand what you're saying, that you're not getting out, you're not IDing people, you're not doing all that, but you can't stop cars out here, man.
I understand.
Especially, you pull somebody over and they think you are a cop. You're not ready for that, are you? Somebody gets out of the car and comes after you, you're not trained for that, right? You're not ready for that, right? And then what happens? And then somebody that doesn't like the cops and they think you are a cop and they get out and they come back after you, what do you think happens?
Gonna get killed?
Maybe.
Hurt?
You never know.
Get hurt.
And that's the problem with people that are not cops acting like they are. You're not trained or prepared for it. See how that's a problem? Not to mention, in the past, there have been people who are trying to pretend they're cops for bad reasons.
Right.
You obviously tonight didn't do anything further than pull behind them like you're doing a traffic stop. But how do we know that in another mile, the next car you pull over, you're like, you know what? They think I'm a cop. I'm going to play this one out further. I'm going to go up and... We don't know. We don't know you. You see how that's a problem? Does that make sense? So you having a little bit of fun tonight with your new light and siren very well could have ended poorly or differently, or had we not stopped you, who knows what could have happened. We don't know.
Could have been seriously hurt, yeah.
Correct.
Well, officer, hopefully your lecture will take hold, but I highly doubt it. As we all know with police impersonators, they tend to have some of the most stupidest fallbacks by going back to doing what they do. Case in point, Jeremy DeWitt. Well, I'm making the video here. He was actually arrested and placed under arrest due to the fact that his probation officer told them to put a hold on him. He was charged with impersonating a peace officer and a civilian's unlawful use of red lights and strobe with a siren. I could not find any further outcomes on this video, what his sentence would have been, but I'm willing to bet the remainder of his probation, plus possibly either the 9 months in jail and a $10,000 fine. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can for me, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without your guys' continuous support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so thank you from the bottom of my heart.